We're going last week out of Portsmouth once again. So let's see the floor to you. Who stood out this week?
Yeah, I'm gonna keep it short and sweet. In the championship, for those that don't know, Portsmouth Invitational pretty much kicks off the NBA pre-draft season. It's the oldest pre-draft combine in the country, in the world. I believe this is the 69th year. It would have been the 70th year, but they canceled 1 year due to COVID. Um, and what it does is brings the top seniors in college basketball, 64 of the top seniors in college basketball, to come and do battle in front of 200 NBA and FIBA scouts and front office personnel, man. Like if you're trying to get on the draft boards or get in position for a two-way Exhibit 10, a G League job or a job overseas, if you're a senior, you feel like uh, you put in work throughout your college career, just been kind of overlooked or whatnot. You want to be in this, and it was great to see. It's one of my favorite events to cover. Because guys are hungry and they competing, and there's guys with NBA talent. You know what I mean? And they're gonna be knocked because of their age, that they're older. But I feel like that's the problem with the NBA. You see a lot of youngers with talent, but they don't know how to play the game, and you see what's happening. And the guys that draft those young guys are usually not around to see those young guys grow up because they get let go. You know what I mean? Whereas you can plug one of these seniors and they're guys with experience and they're ready to go. They grown men, they understand how to play the game. Just tell them what you need from them and they go do it. It's as simple as that. But in the championship game, K&D Rounds defeated Sales System 91-87. Uh, which was a very entertaining game. So Jabari Rice out of Texas, I'm gonna talk about him in a little bit. He won MVP. He led the team with 19 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists on 7 of 12 shooting from the field. Uh, he was special. I'm saying, all throughout the week. Uh, Starting with him as far as the standouts, obviously, one thing that jumped out to me when he first stepped on the court. I mean, obviously you see his 6'4", but as soon as the game started, the first night, Wednesday night, he was guarding 94 feet. But his, what jumped out was his wingspan. Like, he was backpedaling and just sticking his hand out, disrupting the ball handler, like knocking the ball loose. And we were like, damn, his arm. And we was in the crowd like, yo, his arm's long as hell. Like, what the? And come to find out, he's 6'4", but he got 6'9", 6'10" wingspan. And he caused hell defensively. Like, dudes was fumbling the ball. Guards didn't feel comfortable making just basic fundamental passes because he was jumping the lane and he's so quick and athletic and so long, he can bait you into it, think you got a window, and then he's already jumping it and you got to pull back or whatnot. He's a menace. But on top of that, he's an efficient scorer. He knows how to score. He can score from all three levels, moves well without the ball. One thing he could get better at, be a little bit more shifty with his ball handling. Obviously being a 6'4" guard, he gonna have to get guys off of him. But when you got that wingspan and the way he can jump, you don't need to waste too much dribbling motion, man. Just get to your spot and elevate. Ain't too many people gonna bother your shot. With him winning the MVP and doing the damage he did, I'm pretty sure he pretty much lining up a lot of workouts for a lot of teams as the pre-draft process go around. So if you hear his name, his stock rising in the upcoming weeks, you know where it started. Next up is Tiger Campbell, 6'4" point guard at UCLA. He averaged 14.6 points, 6.6 assists on 50% shooting from three. I've been honestly following this kid since high school. He's the prototypical point guard, man. It's amazing how easy he makes the game, man. It was just crazy. It was fun watching because it's a throwback. It reminded me of watching like John Stockton and Jason Kidd, those caliber point guards. Uh, he only scores to keep the defense honest, so when it's obviously there. You know what I'm saying? Just recognizing situations. All right, let me go and get this bucket. He's more of a pass first point guard, but he can control the game, man. And as you can see in the playoffs, having that type of point guard is valuable. It's very valuable. And we all know it's very valuable in college, man. Controlling the pace, controlling the game, and then being efficient with the way you knock down shots. He's that, man. He's not the most explosive athlete, but he's super sharp, got a great IQ, but he's not like running a 40 an hour either, man. You know what I'm saying? He'll get the job done. So I think he definitely helped his stock. Obviously, being at UCLA, with the damage they did last year in the Final Four or whatnot, Plenty of people, plenty of scouts know what he is, but I think he really helped his stock by the damage he did, last week. Next up is Ed Croswell, 6'9" forward out of Providence. He averaged 17 points, 8.3 rebounds, so 54% shooting from the field. Beast. He could be similar to what Gafford is, just more skill. You can really, instead of like Gafford mostly rolling to the basket off those screens and dunking, this guy can roll and dunk and also pop out and hit jumpers consistently. And that's the difference. He also showed he would work. He'll be able to knock down NBA threes with efficiency as well, man. And then on top of that, he's a menace on the boards, man. Like, I mean, he go for boards, dudes hit the ground. They bounce off of him. Look, I just love. Some people may call him old school, traditional type of big and mean, play inside out. I just call it playing effective basketball, and I see a whole lot of teams that need it and can utilize that. And he's a lot better than what I thought, because I think in Providence, when I did a couple games I saw him play last year, they kept him more so inside. You know what I'm saying? He was posting up, and which he can do too. He could post up on the block, but that's mostly where they held him at. That was his bread and butter at Providence. Here, man, he was on the perimeter. He understands how to get his shots. Like he'll go set screens and just quickly slip to the basket, get dunks, or he'll get the ball. They'll rotate to the lane to try to stop him from getting a dunk, and he could hit the cross-court pass, and dudes was hitting corner three, so he understands how to play basketball and execute the offense that way as well. It was great watching him play, man. You know what I'm saying? I definitely he's a guy that certain teams on this East Coast, I'm not gonna say no names, maybe a possible local team, they were right there, the whole front office staff, they was watching. They need to bring him in for a workout. They need to take him serious and put him on their board, man, because he's ready to come in and help right away. Next one, second to last one, guy I've seen a lot of, obviously covering GW in the A10, Tumani Camaro, 6'8" forward out of Dayton. He averaged 20 points and 11 rebounds. My man was a grown man out there, man. It was fun watching his versatility because, obviously scouting, talking with a lot of scouts across the league, they always ask me, like, who the best player in the A10, like as far as NBA. Ace Baldwin at VCU got Player of the Year. I was saying Tumani, but the thing is, his teammate playing in front, I forget his name, slips my mind right now. He's the one that's getting on the NBA buzz, but Tumani, once again, showed aspects of his game you didn't see at Dayton. You could see a little bit of his versatility, but at Portsmouth, he put it all on display. He was hitting threes. He was rolling to the basket for dunks, lobs. He was defending 1 through 5. They even had him run point forward. Like, he was literally bringing the ball up. He never did that at Dayton unless, it was just trapping and stuff like that. And they had to beat the shot clock. And obviously, he had the board. He had to try to get across half court. That's the only time you saw him dribble. Here, they was literally passing the ball. He was coming up, setting up the offense. And he killed. He killed all week. Like, I think the worst game he had was like 13 to 15. That was the worst game. The other 2 games he played, he was above 20 points and double-digit rebounds. And he was hitting threes, scoring from all 3 levels. If he's not on the NBA roster, if he don't have some type of two-way or at least in the G League having to prove himself because maybe he went to a good team, something's wrong. I think it's people that don't know what they're doing. And they probably won't be around too long. That's how dominant he was. And last but not least is Kendrick Davis, 6-foot guard out of Memphis. He averaged 15.3 points, 6.7 assists, 3 steals, and 2.7 rebounds. Kendrick, saw him a lot throughout the season. He had to score a lot for Penny, down there. So I didn't know if he could run point. I didn't know if he could do all the little things that would be required of him as being a rookie to fulfill a role on the team. But he did. He got off to a slow start, missing some shots. But once he settled in, it was a wrap, and he got comfortable. It was fun actually watching him go through a battle on the first day, his first game with Joe Bryant Jr. from Norfolk State, who came to our pro day. And, they kind of, let it be known that they both here for the smoke. They, what I'm saying, fighting for jobs. It's just part of it. But I love to see it. That showed that they was here to play. But he's explosive, man. Super athletic. Super. A little bit old. He's 24. But he's super athletic. I mean, when he's athletic, like when you trying to dribble the ball against him, with most guys with a quick change of direction, even though they're quick and they can recover, you can see you get a little space for him. It's no space for him. He moves right with you. So it's hard to get him up off you. So if you're not an elite athlete as a ball handler, he's gonna bother you. He's gonna be a pest. And then he's strong and he could jump with you. You know what I'm saying? With to contest you, even though he's short. So he's a pest. That's something I didn't know he had on him watching him at Memphis because he was more so focused on scoring. Streaky shooter. You know, he got to get better from 3-point range, but when he's on, he's on. He can put 15 to 20 points up in a hurry. You know what I mean? And he can pass the rock with his speed, especially in transition. He got good vision. He can get the ball where it need to go, and he can be a one-man fast break when he wants to. So those are my 5 that really stood out, and I expect to be in a whole lot of workouts and doing damage. And I definitely expect a few of them to get invites to the big combine in Chicago next month. The best of the rest, I want to give a shout out to Kevin Obenor, 6'4" from Texas Tech, Timmy Allen, 6'6" guard out of Texas, Demoy Hodge, 6'4" guard out of Missouri, Tanner Groves, 6'9" forward out of Oklahoma, and his teammate Grant Sherfield, 6'2" guard out of Oklahoma. And also shout out to who I mentioned, Joe Bryant Jr., and Chris Bankston from Norfolk State, who participated in the pro day, my first ever pro day, and they won an alternate list. And they came to the pro day, played in front of a few NBA scouts, and they did their thing. They killed. Next thing you know, a couple calls made. They got invited to Portsmouth after being on the alternate list. And not only did they get invited to Portsmouth, they both had solid showings all throughout the week. And that I'm sure will lead to some opportunities that they otherwise didn't have, man. And they, we invited about 10 guys, only 5 guys showed up, other guys pulled out and all that. And they were the 2 that came early, did their thing, put the work in, got through the grueling 2-hour workout, and that was their reward to play on the big stage in Portsmouth, historic Portsmouth. And they impressed. They proved that they should have been on that list all along. So, man, big shout out to them. I hope the pre-draft process serves them well and they get where they want to go.
All right, we're going to take our